Jeezy Pete's, man. Look, they're already doing it. They're already doing it. Cesar Chavez is being erased right before our eyes with no proof. With no proof. Everywhere across the country, anything alluding to Cesar Chavez is being removed, covered up, taken down, dismantled, renamed. Talk about a Me Too. This is nasty. I mean, this is despicable work. So it seems like Latino men, this is your wake up call. Now I guess you got next. They're gonna come after your women and have your women turn against the men, her man, much like they did with the black woman and her black man. So I guess because you're the next new hot voter, now they gotta get you guys in line, and they gotta go after your woman, separate and isolate your woman, turn your woman against you. Yeah, so you about to get the black man treatment. Okay, come on. Fresno State done removed it.
Breaking news here in San Fernando. We just found out that the city is removing this statue on Cesar Chavez. An officer came up to us to tell us they were bringing in a backhoe and removing the statue, and you can see it being lifted up into the air right now. And the mayor mentioned that he is in support of more removals of his likeness, including name changes to streets and schools and scholarships.
Am I buffering again? Oh, are you serious right now? Come on, bro, quit playing. Tell me I'm not buffering. It's early. It's only 8:30. Wait. Let me make sure I'm not buffering. No, I'm good. Oh, wait. Let me see. Let me make sure. No, I'm not buffering, sir. No, sir, that's you. Refresh your page. Okay, let's continue.
Anything honoring Cesar Chavez, he is in support of changing.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
Wow.
We came here this morning to teach my daughters about protesting. It was a word that they'd never heard before, and to put these signs up. So
they're gonna call it Dolores Huerta. Oh, that's crazy. Wow.
Know that this is the name we want in our park.
Damn.
We have breaking news now. Civil rights leader Dolores Huerta says she was sexually assaulted and raped by Cesar Chavez 60 years ago. In a statement, she said she never previously discussed this because she was worried about how it would hurt the farm worker movement. However, after a New York Times investigation that just came out says Huerta said she could no longer stay silent. Huerta says the sexual assaults led to 2 pregnancies and 2 children she gave up for adoption. In her statement, Huerta said, in part, quote, for the last 60 years.
Now, we need to find these kids, man. No. This ain't right. This ain't right. We need to find these kids. Look at this. 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 No proof. No proof. Wow. 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 This is insane. This is insane. This is insane. Black man has never been done this bad. This is one for the ages. Is she in Spanish? Is she talking Spanish?
Niñas en esa época de
Deeply troubling allegations tonight against a
Let's find a woman. She actually spoke and gave an interview. Yeah, Delores. What's his name? Huerta? I know. Oh, y'all believe all women? Oh, okay. No, we're not gonna do that. She gave an interview. Let me find it. Like she literally had a sit down not too long ago. Let's go here. Let's see what this man has to say.
All said and done, had 11 children. Okay? Doesn't make her a bad woman, but let's put context into this.
Okay, come on.
She had 2, which nobody knew about until just recently, from Cesar Chavez. She also had 2 from a prior relationship, Ralph. She had 2 children from him, which I believe was one of her longest relationships. She had one with, what's the name? Ventura was another one. She had 5 children from this man, right? And the other one that she had kids from was Cesar Chavez's brother. She got with Cesar Chavez's brother and had 4 children from him. I don't know if this is a pattern, but it's definitely not somebody who you would think is, you know, living the high and moral life. And for her to have 4 children with the brother of the man she is now accusing of raping and having a relationship with the brother and with Cesar Chavez for all those years, for decades, it makes me think. It just makes me think. I'm sorry. I know it's easy just...
No, don't be sorry, sir. Don't be sorry. Come on. Y'all just getting the black man treatment. Now everybody getting a little wake-up call. And you know what? Black man, you gotta let them eat that, let them drink the turpentine. Just like the turpentine was force fed to us. Now it's their turn because they're the next huge, you know, consequential voting bloc out here. It's the Latinos. And they need them to vote the way they need them to see fit. You gotta divide, separate the woman, and empower the woman over her man. Wash, repeat, rinse. Okay, it's the same playbook. Now you just moved on to a different set of players. That's all. All right, now it's y'all wake up call. It's your turn. Okay.
Bash the man and just say, yeah, it's true. I bet and there's people bashing him. And the reason they're bashing him is because he was anti-immigration. He was calling, Mexicans wetbacks or any other Latinos wetbacks. Different time. You can't sit there and put your morals and values of today's world to yesterday's life. So to me, I'm making this video so that we can discuss this. Have the conversation about this. Let's sit here and have a real conversation in the comment section without just spewing hate, without just spewing allegations. Facts, bro.
Okay. Even if you found the kids and tested them and they were Cesar's, how would you prove that she was assaulted? Like, how do you prove that? It's he say, she say. Where to interview. Oh, she just did an interview, y'all. I'm gonna find it. Hold on. I'm gonna find it. Okay. Let's go looking this way. Let's go here. Okay. Here we go. Okay, you ready? Let's go.
Tonight, the fallout continues from accusations in a New York Times investigation that civil rights icon Cesar Chavez sexually assaulted underage girls. The news leading to United Farm Workers co-founder Dolores Huerta to reveal that she had been assaulted by Chavez. Our John Quiñones sat down with Huerta today for an exclusive interview.
If you could talk to Cesar Chavez right now, what would you say to him?
How could you?
What does this remind you of?
She's the iconic labor leader and civil rights activist.
I wonder what guys like George Lopez and who's the other comedian, the other Latino comedian. I want to hear from George Lopez, Joey Mencina. I want to hear from those guys. I would love to hear what they have to think. And even then, it's like, okay, are they going to give us honest reactions and honest answers? Let's go.
Who co-founded the United Farm Workers alongside Cesar Chavez. Now speaking with us in an ABC News Network exclusive, Dolores Huerta says as an adult, she was sexually assaulted by Chavez.
It's devastating.
It pains me to have to ask you this, but did Cesar Chavez rape you?
What one could how shall I put it?
Nah, bitch, it's a yes or no answer. Come on.
The times she was raped by Chavez when she was 15. Dolores Huerta holding her own painful secret for nearly 60 years, inspired to speak out now because of the revelation from these two women who are now in their 60s.
You know, this is out, and so it's time for me to tell my secret also.
Also, these women were going to be alone in their claims and their allegations, and you wanted to support them?
Absolutely. And
what we need to do is go find these two mysterious children that you had and gave up for adoption, bitch, and do a DNA test. And even still, it's her word versus a dead man. Once again, Latino man, you about to get the black man treatment with the turpentine. They're going to turn your woman against you. Okay? Don't come to the brothers be like, bro, help. How can I navigate this? No, sir. Just lay down. Just lay down. Because once your woman has been co-opted and corrupted and indoctrinated to go against you, there's nothing you can do. She will be empowered by the state and the government. There's nothing you can do, sir.
You know, I just want to thank them and applaud them for their courage. You know, this is so hard. God knows what they had to go through, you know.
And you didn't tell anyone. Why?
No.
Why not?
You know, I've spent my entire life organizing for farm workers, okay? I didn't want to do anything. And I knew Cesar was probably the only person that I had ever met that could really do the job to organize workers.
So the damage of speaking up would be too much? It would hurt the movement too much?
Oh, absolutely. Can you imagine? I mean, the movement was built by hundreds of volunteers that came in, and even convincing the farm workers themselves that they had the power to build their own organization. It was very, very hard.
Huerta says she became pregnant twice by Cesar Chavez, choosing to hide her pregnancies from the public and arranging for the children to be raised by other families.
And in your case, those two sexual assaults, you became pregnant?
Yes.
Both times?
Okay, so you know where the children went. You know these people. You still probably have their contact information. I'm sure you've been getting tabs on the kids, seeing how they grow up and matured and all the, stuff they're into. No, bitch, get these kids, bring them out into the public, DNA test, and even still, if they are his, it's he say, she say, it's hearsay. This is disgusting.
Yeah, that was when abortion was illegal. I, as a good Catholic, thought that birth control was a sin. I thought that abortion was a sin.
Disgusting.
I have since changed my mind on those issues.
Huerta feeling conflicted between the accomplishments of their movement and the horrific actions of a man she once so admired.
I think we leave that up in God's hands, But I think the progress that was made, that we have to acknowledge it and say, yeah, that he was a great leader, but unfortunately, he had an evil side to him.
With recent demands to replace Cesar Chavez's name on schools, parks, and streets, Dolores Huerta says, don't name them after her.
There's a big movement online about that. What do you think of that?
Well, we have our martyrs that were killed. These are people who gave up their life for the farm worker movement, And so, yeah, and even just recognizing farm workers themselves, I think, is important.
She calls sexual abuse of women and girls a pervasive illness. And she says lessons on how to treat that illness should start with the very young.
I think starting in grammar school, little boys need to be taught that women are their equals. They have to respect little girls.
Boys should be taught that women are their equals. Do you understand how deep this thing is going to go? So boys should be taught that little girls are their equal. Let's continue.
And because I think there's so much machismo in our society.
Ma'am, that is the Latino culture. You guys created the whole machismo. That's what you guys are known for, machismo. You guys are uber hyper masculine. It's a thing of honor, a badge of honor to be known as, uber machismo. That's y'all's culture. That's y'all's culture. And then, yes, you got the South Park Mexicans that like to touch the little girls. That's part of y'all's culture as well, touching the little girls. Let's not act like it's a foregone conclusion. That's part of y'all's culture. Like y'all like to mess with them young. Man, it's so many things we could so many rabbit holes we can go down with the. Okay, but let's continue.
And joining us now is John Quinones. John, tonight, Dolores Huerta is not wavering in her fight for women. Is that right?
Absolutely not. She says she feels a little ill. She might take a little break from all the attention right now, but then she's going to hit the road again and start championing again the rights of Latinos, the rights of women, the rights of children, and of course, the rights of farm workers. Stephanie?
And now the public is left to reassess Chavez.
Man, get this brought up out of here. Disgusting.
So this meeting lasted less than an hour, and after hearing some testimony from the community, supervisors decided to rename Cesar Chavez Day to Fresno County Farm Worker and Agriculture Appreciation Day.
Wow.
It hurts being a farm worker myself.
It's hard for Guadalupe Gutierrez to put into words, but the tears in his eyes and lump in his throat offer insight into his feelings about the allegations against Cesar Chavez.
I met Cesar, and I also know Dolores, and it's like we're all family. When something happens in the family, it's painful and it's hard.
It's why Guadalupe had to be in the room while Fresno County supervisors discussed renaming the holiday, just days after the city of Fresno voted to restore the original street names along Cesar Chavez Boulevard.
I'd like to be first farm worker, then agriculture.
Oh, this
and
is
he
terrible.
wasn't the only one.
Remember, these things were named after him, not by him. He was gone. He had passed. So whose work are you destroying?
Son solamente alegaciones.
But there's
No está comprobado.
There's no proof.
Supervisor Brian Pacheco firing back on that claim.
One of the speakers said he needs proof, but I think the victims coming forward is proof enough.
Since it's
No, sir, that's not how this works. No, that's not how this works. People can accuse you of anything at this point. That's not proof.
a state holiday, Pacheco raised concerns about California lawmakers moving forward with a different name.
There's a lot of people who are experiencing pain, and so anything that we can do to stop re-victimizing the victims out there, call it just semantics, but at the very least, as our employees recognize this holiday, we're going to rename it in accordance with whatever we pass up here today in our salary resolution.
Guadalupe was relieved when the board decided on Fresno County Farm Worker and Agriculture Appreciation Day.
I have worked in the fields. I know it's hard work, but there's tears of joy. There's tears of joy because we have struggled so much in this city, throughout the valley.
He says no matter what race or ethnicity you are, unity matters most, especially during difficult times.
There's good and bad in every culture, but we need to work together because we're all living together.
No, sir. We're not working with y'all. Y'all got it.
Likeness of farm labor leader Cesar Chavez from schools and other buildings in the Bay Area and California, all in wake of disturbing abuse allegations. ABC 7 News reporter Cornell Bernard spoke with local musicians and artists who are moving on without Chavez's legacy.
Longtime San Francisco musician Richard Segovia's house in the Mission is covered with faces, tributes to Latin rock legends and activists like Cesar Chavez.
And I said, get over here, let's remove him.
Hey, Cesar.
Wow.
Wasted no time painting over Chavez's mural this week after sex abuse allegations against the iconic
Wow.
light from victims.
Right away, the urgency was get him off the wall.
Artist
I will say this, at least black men will be like, nah. These Latino men just all let's remove them. Like, goddamn, y'all don't have a hint of doubt. Like you don't. Wow. See, this is why y'all got next. At least black men be like, nah, hell no, this ain't adding up. This is disgusting work.
Carlos Gonzalez knew he had to help Richard out.
Some people say, well, it might be cancel culture. You're moving too fast. Give the guy a break. He's been dead 33 years. He can't defend himself. But, you got to listen to the victims, too.
Gonzalez now replacing Chavez with a portrait of late San Francisco band leader Carmelito Velez.
Carmelito Velez was a big part of my career. When I first got in the band playing Santana cover songs.
Gonzalez painted this mural of Chavez at his alma mater, San Francisco State.
You gonna cover that up too?
Which will soon be removed.
They contacted me about covering it, and I'll be included in the talks to see who we replace him with. We're talking about Dolores Huerta.
I was really saddened.
Hayward artist Andrew Kong Knight says he plans to stop working on this mural of Chavez, depicted as a superhero. He started it 2 years ago, hoping to install it in his hometown of Union City.
Union City, they have some metal boxes along the highway, and so I was proposing the sketch of Chavez for the metal boxes. But now I'm going to go a different route.
Wow.
In San Francisco, Cornell Bernard.
At least black men be like, hold up. That's terrible. Latino men, y'all ain't got no backbone. This is no backbone. Okay.